There was a time when the village at Priest Point, the people were suffering and they were starving. There was no salmon for them to eat. The killer whales came and they seen that their brothers were suffering, and they got these seals and they tossed them up on the bank, and they gave the people there food to eat, and it saved them from starvation. My grandmother would say, you could hear the words, but you have to look at the action. And I look at it and go, there was no salmon for the people, but there were plenty of seals, and at that time they could have been an influencing factor into the demise of the salmon population. I look at it from, it all could balance out and it all needs to be there.
The Salish Sea Marine Survival Project, and Long Live the Kings more generally, looks at the entire ecosystem when we look at recovering salmon.
Predation can change over time, and this is particularly the case with harbor seals, whose numbers have increased by almost an order of magnitude in the Salish Sea since the 1970s. The Salish Sea Marine Survival Project was really the first transboundary effort to look at this issue in a rigorous scientific approach.
The Marine Survival Project was able to tease out that changes to our river and estuary environments, or obstacles like the Ballard Locks or the Hood Canal Bridge that humans have created, have made it easier for seals to eat salmon.
We were tracking fish through Hood Canal and Puget Sound, and year after year we started to see these tons of detections at the Hood Canal Bridge.
The distance you're looking at there is like a couple hundred yards at most. You know, that should take a few minutes for fish to move that kind of distance. It's taking days or longer.
When they encounter that 15-foot concrete wall, they're really not able to get past. We think that the predators are attracted to those high densities of steelhead and probably other species of salmon as well.
The harbor seals particularly have been able to herd juvenile salmon kind of into some of the structural components of the bridge. And we used a visual acoustic system to kind of document that foraging behavior, and it's pretty profound.
Phase 2 will be installing some engineered modifications, so we'll really get a handle on whether those modifications are increasing survival.
We're really trying to ensure that in 7 generations into the future that there will be harvest opportunities for those children to be able to participate in their treaty right. We're doing all these small projects and putting all this work together throughout Hood Canal, and some of the projects are quite large and substantial. But if we're losing 50% of that potential right here at the bridge, you know, that's a huge problem. It undermines all of the other work that we're doing.
People have been concerned about seal and sea lion predation on salmon at Ballard Locks almost from the time that they built the locks. Our colleagues at University of St. Andrews, in partnership with a company called Genus Wave, invented this technique that they called TAST, Targeted Acoustic Startle Technology. We were thrilled to get a call from Long Live the Kings, who were saying, we want to try this in the Nisqually estuary, which is a natural setting. When the TAST is on, the seals are staying 20, 30, 40, 50 meters farther away than when the TAST is off.
While we don't have the effect size, the actual numbers back yet, we did see that when the TAST was on, the seals were staying farther away from it, just like we've seen here at Ballard Locks or in Whatcom Creek.
I think of the 3 southern resident killer whale moms right now who are in late stage pregnancy, and the second they have that calf, their energetic demands will go up by 45 or 50%. And I think if we can save just enough fish to help those moms, that's a wild success to me.
You do what's right for the salmon and what's right for the environment. That was what we were told to do. And so we stand on that still. We know that without an environment, you're not going to have any salmon.
So while the Salish Sea Marine Survival Project gave us some really specific things to look at and address, probably the most important thing it taught us is that we have an entire ecosystem in Puget Sound to pay attention to. And as we're able to go through and address some of these smaller, more contributing factors to marine mortality of juvenile salmon and steelhead, we're going to be able to repair our ecosystem and create a better environment for salmon, for humans, for fishers, and for the next generation.